Preston are a step away from a Wembley playoff final. The Lily Whites hold the advantage going into this second leg. Only half a job's been done so far. Jermaine Beckford's calm finish put North End ahead, but the Spyrights are not out of this yet. Promotion was cruelly ripped away from Preston last Sunday. 7 days on, they're looking to create new memories and set up a big occasion down Wembley Way. Team News sees Simon Grayson make 2 changes, with Scott Laird and Chris Humphrey making way. Callum Woods gets the nod at left back, with Neil Kilkenny making only his second start in the last 22 games. The Lily Whites will be kicking towards the away fans in the first half, and well, they've got 1 foot in the final at Wembley. They need to finish off the job in this second leg today, and Daniel Johnson sent it early up forward for Beckford, who can't quite win it. Harry Roberts heads it out wide. Callum Woods, who has got the nod ahead of Scott Laird today, and David Buchanan not involved in the squad either. And Woods settles for a throw-in over on the far side. And it's a big call for the manager, Simon Grayson, to give Callum Woods that opportunity at left-back, because he's got 2 great left-backs not involved in Laird and Buchanan.
Yeah, the gaffer's obviously seen something in training or in the game on Thursday that he thought Callum would be best suited for this game. And then let's go get this game out of the way, and then he can decide on what team he wants to play at Wembley. Yeah?
Woods does have promotion experience under Simon Grayson at Huddersfield, and certainly knows what it's all about at this sort of occasion. Here's Welsh trying to snap in here, but Chesterfield have it out, and it's Clucas with this effort, and he just drags it wide. First opportunity of the game, though, falls to the visitors in the first 60 seconds, and that wasn't far away.
No, it was a ball that, again, we gave away. Galley tried to play a crossfield ball, slipped and under-hit the pass. They won the ball back in midfield, and then they got a shot away. And that's the sort of thing I think the manager would have been worried about on Thursday night. That's why probably Kilkenny's in there to try and keep possession for us, and let's keep Chesterfield off the ball for as long as we can at times.
Lucas was playing through the middle up front for Paul Cook on their Thursday, but he seems to be playing a slightly deeper role at the moment. Here's Derek Wood defending under pressure from Beckford, and Huntington trying to win it in the air. Looks as though he got a bit of a push, but the referee says that was a fair one, and O'Shea hits it forward down the line, but again it just slices out of play, and it's going to be out for another throw-in. But Lucas, as I mentioned in the build-up, has been playing on the left-hand side for Chesterfield quite a lot this season. Even played at left-back for a few games. Of course, they had an awful lot of goals coming through Owen Doyle earlier in the campaign, but he's since moved on to Cardiff. And the Spyrights doing well to really still stay involved in the hunt for promotion without his goals, but they did finish a massive 20 points behind Preston in the table. This is Everett now, the former Blackpool defender, and the fans just realising that, and you can hear 1 or 2 boos as Tom Clark here tries to stop Clucas reaching it. Bailey Wright does well and tells Clark to take his time, and he turns and gets it upfield. Joe Garner trying to chest it down, and Sam Hurd, who was sent off after a couple of minutes earlier in the season in the game between these two, and a challenge on Joe Garnet, gets away with that one. And it's with Jones, who crosses into the penalty area. Preston headed away as Bailey Wright gets there. Daniel Johnson flicks it forward, and Neil Kilkenny brings it down and secures the ball, and now finds Woods on the left-hand side wearing bright yellow fluorescent boots. And he sends this one forward to Garnet, who's just trying to put Hurd off there and trying to run onto it, but Adverts and Garnet collide, and there's a little bit of afters between the two as they get back up to their feet. But that was a bruising battle on Thursday between those two, and they're reuniting their acquaintances.
Yeah, looks like Joe's up for the game again. He's straight into the action. Didn't receive a free kick from probably a little push in the back. Then he's gone challenging for the next header, put his elbow into somebody and his full weight of his body, and then probably just been a little bit late on.
It's one of the images of the season actually that I've got was when he made his comeback against Sheffield United earlier in the season after his injury, and he was only on for the last 10 minutes, but in the first 30 seconds of coming on he nearly ripped the defender off the ground as he went in for it. But that's Joe Garnet.
That's Joe's game. He's all about the hustle and bustle, gets himself well up for these games and plays probably on the edge too much at times, but it suits his style of play.
battling with Hurd again, but just loses out this time, Garnet, and it falls to Clucas on the left-hand side. He's just keeping hold of it, opting not to send it forward early, and then it's cut out by Tom Clark, and out it goes for a throw-in. Chesterfield will move forward. Lots of pointing and instructions coming from the sidelines from both managers. Jones now for Colchester, sending it forward, and it just bounced on the white line there as Jones reaches it and crosses in deep towards the box, but it won't find Banks, and Gallagher will clear it away, and it's anywhere will do really from a Preston point of view. After what has been a pretty frantic opening 5 minutes, thought it might have been a bit of a close and tight affair, but both teams have been going at it in the opening stages, trying to get the early advantage. But Chesterfield do have the throw-in now, which Derikwe is taking over on the far side, and it's going to be a ball that he will look to play upfield. Chesterfield are looking for back-to-back promotions for the first time in their history, having won League Two last year. Beckford running after this one. Daniel Johnson trying to get there, but the bounce of the ball just went against him, and Clucas reaches it, and it's being brought forward now by Morsey, who just tricks inside and tries to get away from John Welsh, who is keeping him honest, until it goes square for Derikwe, who gives it back to Morsey again. And Chesterfield continuing to play the ball around nicely as it's played in towards Roberts now, who reaches it by the byline and drills it back in, and Huntington has to clear it away. Got there just ahead of his man, who I think was Banks, but it was another good spell from Chesterfield there. The Spireites, who played well on Thursday, had plenty of attacking options, and just sending this one back, and they've overhit it. Lucas sends it out for a Preston throw midway inside their own half. But that was another good move there from the visitor. Yeah,
typical Chesterfield play that. They've kept possession, they've moved it from one side of the pitch to the other, switch play, managed to get a deep cross in. Player coming in behind Tom Clark, he's retrieved the ball, put it back into the box, and Huntington was there to clear. But that's a typical Chesterfield from Thursday night. They keep possession, they're quite happy to keep possession, they're patient. Preston just have to be patient at the same time. Block that central corridor off, which I think Kilkenny and Welsh did there, making them play wide, and then we have to deal with the crosses from there.
That's the voice of Andy Fenson, who is watching this one with us today, as it remains goalless in the opening stages of this second leg, and Daniel Johnson reaches this now, and he's cutting in field as he tries to play it out towards Kilkenny, and he did well to win it, and he points to Woods where to run, and Woods drills it in early, which gets the block. Woods goes after it, and Derikwe slides in to see it out for a throw-in, but that's better from Preston after the early pressure from Chesterfield, and Callum Woods ready with the throw now, as some ticker tape is thrown behind him, and Woods releases Kilkenny, who tries to burst forward, but that was well watched by Jimmy Ryan, who got back there to deal with it, and again it's out for a throw, and Preston responding well with a couple of lively moves now, but Jimmy Ryan involved there in that challenge, and he might be a little bit lucky to be on the field even today. He was lucky to only get a yellow card rather than a red for a challenge on Paul Gallagher on Thursday night. Up it goes towards Beckford here, who just pushes the defender in the back and gives the free kick away, but Jimmy Ryan perhaps a little bit lucky to be involved.
Yeah, I think if the referee had been a bit stronger the other night, I think he saw it. It was a definite elbow, he threw the elbow, Jimmy Ryan, and that should have seen him off and not playing in today's game. But like I said, Preston have come back into the game a little bit here. They put their own passing move together. Not only is Kilkenny sat in front of the back four, he got himself into the box, then made a forward run, and just couldn't quite get hold of the ball.
Beckford back for Kilkenny, and out wide again for Callum Woods. Good atmosphere inside Deepdale for this early kick-off on this Sunday lunchtime. Second Sunday game in a row at this time, and another strong challenge from Preston gives away a free kick to Chesterfield this time, and Jimmy Ryan is stood over it and thinking about taking it, but I think he'll leave it instead, and it's going to be the other midfielder, I think, who's going to play it forward. Long it goes towards Banks, who's got a bit of extra height up there, but loses out to Clark, and Johnson, the former Chesterfield man, of course, just wins the free kick and has a little handshake with his old teammates and wins the free kick. But played 13 games for Chesterfield earlier in the season, and looked good as well here for Chesterfield against Preston earlier in the campaign. But certainly got plenty of goals for Preston since his arrival in January. Everett heads this one away, and it's loose in the air for Welsh and Roberts to try and scrap for. Joe Garner again can't reach it, and it's headed down by Bailey Wright, out wide for Tom Clark, who sends it back for the Aussie, who was just running deep inside his own half now, and he clears it high upfield, and Joe Garner trying to get away with it, but Everett can't reach it, and Beckford back flicks it into Garner's path, and it just gets away from the Preston striker, and Chesterfield whack it away. But confidence clearly high between Beckford and Garnet, as Roberts leaves this one now for Banks. Roberts again giving it away as Daniel Johnson intercepts, and now Beckford trying to hold it up and hold off Ian Everett, but no free kick. The Preston still have it, and Ian Everett, who has won promotions before in the playoffs with Blackpool, he's a player with plenty of experience, and he's a big unit too. Using that to good effect so far, but that's a lovely ball to release Gallagher down the left. He's got Derek with him, and Gallagher lofts the cross in. Beckford trying to get there, but the defender just did enough there to put him off, and Daniel Jones right on the line of being fair. And Jermaine Beckford just putting his hands out, looking around to the officials, but Daniel Jones getting away with that.
Yeah, I don't think Beckford really expected anyone to be behind him there. I think he thought he was going to get a free header. He didn't really commit himself to go and attack the ball, so he was backpedaling, and I just think he got eased off the ball there.
Joe Murphy with the goal kick, and what a day to make your debut for him, having arrived in the last 48 hours on an emergency loan. He's only played 4 games this season. The last of them, I think, was in January. And the first 2 appearances were in the early stages of the League Cup. But is an experienced keeper with over 500 games to his name. As Ryan, on the left-hand side for Chesterfield, pulls it in field. Played long by Hurd, but easy for Huntington. And that takes a deflection and falls to a blue Spyrites man, and Ryan plays it back to Joe Murphy. It's a big game to make your debut, isn't it, for Joe Murphy?
Yeah, it'll be nerve-wracking for him. Like you say, he's had 500 odd League and Cup games, but he'll still be nervous. It's a new team. He'll want to do well for the team, knowing that they're in this position at this stage of the season.
Presumably he hasn't had a great deal of time to work with them on the training ground either, so perhaps at set pieces Preston might find a little bit of an advantage, but at the moment it's Chesterfield who are giving another good account of themselves. Woods wins this one though, and Neil Kilkenny just got caught there, and that's going to be a free kick for a foul on him, and Andy D'Urso just trying to sort things out. And well, he is an experienced official who's took charge of games at the highest level with the biggest names, and that is only a good thing for this one, because there were quite a few challenges going in the first game.
Yeah, it's going to be a feisty game. There's a hell of a lot at stake for both sides. Obviously, Preston being at home, it's a massive game for us. We want to do well, and the referee is an important part of this game.
Up it goes here for Garner, and now Beckford trying to turn, and he's all gone down in the penalty area, and he's looking to the referee, but he's not going to oblige. No penalty, but that was a big call there. Beckford certainly thought he was pulled back, as Kilkenny sends this one towards Huntington, and now Bailey Wright in some space. But well, Beckford, who's got free in the penalty area on a couple of occasions now, was certainly only a few yards out as he was looking to get the shot away, and he was pretty keen for a spot kick there, but the referee had a good view of it and didn't give it.
Well, on first look, possibly like Jermaine probably fell over a little bit too easy, thinking in the referee's eyes. It's a great header from Joe Garnet on the edge of the box, down to his strike partner. Jermaine was backing in there, hoping. Joe obviously went on for the 1-2, looking for the ball back. Didn't get it because obviously Jermaine thought he was being pulled back.
The cheers while Andy was talking was from a misplaced pass from Ian Everett, which sailed straight out of play for a throw-in. Here's Garner with a lovely take on his chest, and he's sent flying there by Jones. And the referee, who was giving the free kick, now just has to calm Joe Garner down, who reacted pretty angrily to the way that Jones landed on him. And in fairness to Garner there, it did look like Jones was making no attempts to try and get away from Joe Garner, and was just quite happy to land studs first on the Preston striker.
Yeah. again, that's Joe all over. He gets up ranting and raving, off he goes, probably smiling to himself at the same time. But yeah, Jones looked like he put his foot on his backside and wasn't afraid to put a bit of weight on it either.
Well, the referee is making things wait here because Joe Garner is being called across for a word with Jones, and the two of them are going to have to try and sort out their differences. The two captains are coming over as well, and Andy D'Urso using a bit of his experience here to perhaps just calm things down, explain a few things, and there's a handshake between the two, and it's going to be a free kick for Preston. Chesterfield's only win in the last 7 meetings against North End was a penalty shootout win in the JPT back in December 2011. They won on penalties by 4-2. Not too much glory since then though. Johnson plays this one up. Huntington heads it down, and he got there ahead of Adverts. Had the run on the big defender. But Joe Murphy reaches it, and Woods gets there first with the long throw out, and Preston come forward again with Gallagher trying to find a way past Darikwa, but has to go backwards because O'Shea was there making life difficult too. But Preston are keeping the ball well now, and Welsh hits it outfield towards Clark on the right. A lovely ball from Welsh as Daniel Johnson looks infield and now hits a good ball in early with his left foot, but it's headed away by Sam Hurd. John Welsh sees this one just flick up off a Chesterfield man, and it breaks now to Ollie Banks on the left. The tall winger here is just muscled off it, and Tom Clark wins it, and he finds Beckford, and Adverts comes flying through, and he does well to see it out with a fair challenge. Beckford quickly wanting the ball back from the crowd, but the tempo's up again, the challenges are coming in, and the stakes are getting higher and higher.
Hard but fair there from Tom Clark and Ollie Banks. Good tackle, won the ball back for Preston, and then sets Preston off on the attack.
Woods lays this one back to Huntington. It's a great story for Ollie Banks actually. He's come through non-league, was playing for FC United and working as a kitchen fitter when he was in his non-league days, but got his chance a couple of years ago with Chesterfield, helped them to the League 2 title last season, scoring 9 times, and he's got his chance in this League 1 playoff semi-final today, starting from the off, and hoping to add to his 1 goal so far this season, but he's certainly a tall, big presence up there against the likes of Huntington and Wright. Preston just struggling at the moment, and Jimmy Ryan tries to bring this one away, and he looks to try and get there just ahead of John Welsh, but Welsh slides in, he timed that one well and deals with it. It's going to be a Chesterfield throw just inside the Preston half, and it's thrown back to Darikwa, who was just inside the Chesterfield half. This is Jimmy Ryan now, whose future could lie away from Chesterfield no matter what happens at the end of this season, because he turned down the offer of a new deal in January. As Everett clips this one forward. John Welsh wins it. Johnson with a strong challenge wins it too. And Preston keeping hold of it better now, although the referee getting in the way of Neil Kilkenny, and the Aussie just giving him a quick word. And Preston do keep hold of it, but Andy D'Urso got right in the thick of the action there. He was not challenged as Joe Garner again is pushed down here by Everts, but I don't think he's going to get the free kick. Preston will have the throw instead, and Everts, who played 5 times in games against Preston for Blackpool, is one the fans know well, and certainly Joe Garner will remember playing against him as well. These 2 games in quick succession. John Welsh has just been brought down on the halfway line, and it's another free kick for Preston, and it's Kilkenny who is over it. But, you can hear the atmosphere inside Deepdale as the Lillywhites fans get behind their team, and certainly not thinking about the pretty dismal playoff record that Preston have had in the last 10 attempts. This is Gallagher rising for it in the air. Darikwa trying to get there too, and does just about, and plays it forward for Jimmy Ryan. In a bit of a tight spot, but keeping hold of the ball, and came through the Liverpool Academy as a schoolboy, won the FA Youth Cup twice with the Reds, and he's got away with that one as well because his clearance took a deflection off a Preston man, and it's going to be a Chesterfield throw, which has got one or two of the Preston players scratching their heads a little bit. Garnet is just going to take his time over it. He's started a lot of games, has Tendai Direcwa, more than any other outfield player this season, and with Tommy Lee not involved today, he is the player to have started most games for them. Here's Bailey Wright, who has to deal with this one in the penalty area, with Klukas breathing down his neck, and Sam Johnston not quick enough off his line to come and reach it, and Preston concede this corner kick with 20 minutes on the clock, and this is a set-piece opportunity, and set pieces could be key in this one, Andy.
Yeah, it was a good opportunity there for Chesterfield, good through ball, good bit of covering by Bailey Wright. I think he was expecting Sam Johnston to come maybe and smother it. He didn't. He got the call to go and clear it, and unfortunately cleared it for a corner and not a throw-in.
Well, the referee is just trying to sort out a bit of holding and some pushing and shoving. Just on the edge of the penalty area, which is where the majority of the players are lined up. There is also a Chesterfield man on the goal line, along with 3 Preston players and the keeper. The corner that's played in is a poor one, and Gallagher can just scuff that one away easily enough, and out for a throw-in. It's going to be a throw-in for Chesterfield. This is the 62nd game of the season for Preston, which is quite amazing, really. It's a really tough schedule down in League One, and with the success that the Lily Whites had in the Johnston's Paint Trophy and in the FA Cup too, it's been a long campaign. Only Sheffield United in the top 4 divisions have played more games, and they're on 62. This comes here for Chesterfield on the halfway line. Morsey gives it to Ryan, who plays it back for Sam Hurd. Hurd plays it long, looking for Banks, but Bailey Wright got that one right, and Daniel Johnson clips it forward for Kilkenny. Now Gallagher, but again Sam Morsey just got there first. Huntington powerful in the challenge against Banks, and now Joe Garner trying to hold it up and trying to keep hold of it, and even a John Welsh strong challenge can't win it, but Neil Kilkenny will run onto the loose ball. This is Johnson now, just calling for Bailey Wright to come short, and instead Johnson finds Huntington, who chests it down and plays it down towards Sam Johnson in the penalty area. And it's been a great season for Paul Huntington as well, hasn't he? We all know he was out of the team at the start of the season, and was playing Banks games to keep himself going, but he opted to stay at the club and fight for his future, and it's proved to be a good decision for him, because he's been excellent, hasn't he? Yeah,
as a player you're obviously very disappointed when you're not in the squads early on in the season. You've got 2 choices. You either give up and want to leave, or you're going to stay and fight for your place. And Paul stayed, fought for his place, got his opportunity in the side, did really, really well early on, and he stayed there ever since. And that's a testament to Paul as a professional. And that's the sort of player you're looking for at any football club, somebody that is willing to work. No God-given right to start in the first team. You have to work and earn your place, and Paul's done exactly that.
Yeah, quite a number of his teammates admire him as well for that decision at the beginning of the campaign to stay and fight. And he's played over 40 games now for Preston. And what has been a very long season, particularly in terms of games as well, with over 60 matches played now for Simon Grayson and his men. But I think it's testament to the physio and the fitness staff that even after all those games at the end of the season, everybody's fit. Here's Roberts now for Chesterfield, still running forward, but in the end he couldn't keep hold of it, and he and Clark, 2 former Huddersfield men, just colliding, and just happy to get on with it here, as Sam Johnston now kicks it upfield and looks for Garner. Everts going for it, and Garner won it there, but he led with an elbow, and it's going to be a yellow card there for Joe Garner for the challenge on Ian Everts. And just for a split second there I thought that might have been worse, but Joe Garner's shown the yellow card for the challenge there on the big defender.
Yeah, Joe's leading there with an elbow. He's caught the defender. I thought the referee, it could have been worse. Like you said, the referee made a decision straight away, got the yellow card out, which in some respects was good for Joe. It's never good, but Joe's taking some stick. He's getting beaten up himself a little bit here, just trying to look after himself, and now he's got to be careful.
Adverts is up on his feet and just getting a bit of treatment, and he's pretty angry. The referee is getting the wrath of it, but I think he'll be okay, and Joe Garner might just serve to have a little bit of a think for a few moments, but doesn't look as though it might have been quite as bad as it first looked.
No, I think it was the forearm that's caught him there, and that's good. The referee's seen it. He's made a decision early on. Big defender, big tough ugly defender. He'll have plenty more of those in his career, and he's had plenty beforehand.
And the home fans just telling him what they think as he makes his way onto this touchline down below us, and it's going to be a free kick for Chesterfield. And they've got two men just on the sideline at the moment. Gary Roberts is off the field as well, as Murphy plays this one forward, and now the referee letting them back on. Well, he's let Everett on, but not Roberts yet, which seems a little bit strange. I'm not too sure why Gary Roberts is off the field in any case. This is Morsey on the ball for Chesterfield, as the Spyrites continue to play here, and it's sent upfield, but Clucas won't be first to it. Huntington is, and Neil Kilkenny plays it down for Gallagher, and Hurd helps it upfield. Still, they're not letting Gary Roberts back on the field, and I'm not too sure why. Getting a bit frustrated in the Chesterfield technical area, and I don't know whether the referee's forgot or hasn't noticed, but it's going to be with Joe Murphy, and I think the manager's telling him to kick it out of play so that they can get Roberts on, and Joe Murphy's just trying to work out exactly what's happening, but still Roberts waits on this touchline, and Murphy sails it out of play, and now Andy Durso lets Gary Roberts on, and well, I'm not too sure what the delay was there in allowing Roberts to come back onto the field.
No, he seemed to take a long while, and then the ball had to go out of play for some reason. I don't really understand it. Like you said, I don't know why Roberts was off in the first place, because everything was done with Ian Everett, and strange decision.
I think the fourth official's trying to explain it now to Paul Cook, the Chesterfield boss, and it looks as though the explanation has satisfied him, because he's happy enough. He's wearing just shorts and t-shirt this afternoon is the Chesterfield manager, Simon Grayson, in his familiar tracksuit, as Clark hits this one forward, but Everett will see this one out for a throw-in. This is Preston's 10th playoff campaign, which is a record in the Football League, hoping to try and book a place at Wembley for the first time since 1994, which of course was against Wickham. Here's Beckford now trying to run forward, but that's a good challenge from Everett, who just skipped the ball away from Beckford there, snapping around at his heels, and Banks now runs onto this, and Woods just slides in to get there and put it out for a corner kick. So Chesterfield will move their big guns upfield again, ready for their set piece, and they'll be hoping for better delivery from this one as opposed to the first.
Yeah, it was poor delivery on the first, and Galley managed to put his foot through the ball and get it away. But this is where Preston have to be careful. They come taking it short now. The ball's going to come into the box.
It's Roberts who plays it in, but it's blocked by a combination of Welsh and Kilkenny, and Colchester back to the halfway line with Darikwa, and the big defender's just wondering whether or not to stay up or come back, but Hurd and Everett are back now as Jones makes this run down the left, but it was a bit of a blind alley for him, so he stopped, pulled it back and leaves it to Morsey, who plays it back for Jones. He goes down into the challenge. Roberts now against Johnson, who gets the block in, but Roberts still has it on the left-hand side as he pulls it back for Jimmy Ryan. Ryan turns and lays it back for Sam Hurd. And now Darikwa on the right-hand side. Took a bit of an awkward bounce for Darikwa, and that just puts Chesterfield on the back foot, and Preston are chasing and harrying as Huntington got his foot to that one, and Gallagher's got time to bring it down and control it and find Daniel Johnson. And now Woods on the left-hand side. This is Welsh, and Preston consolidating now with nearly half an hour on the clock, and it's still goalless. And haven't been too many chances in the first half so far. There's Everett and Garnet renew hostilities, and this time it's Garnet who gets a shove in the back, and Everett is going to get a talking to from the referee, and he's shown a yellow card, so it's a card apiece for Garnet and Everett in the first 30 minutes, and I think that was a pretty clear yellow card. It was probably for an accumulation of challenges on Garnet, but I think that one alone might have been worth a yellow.
Yeah, I would say it's for a totting up process, really. He's gone straight through the back of Joe there. Joe stood and took it. To be fair to him, he does stay down, he does look to get players booked, but then he gets up and he walks off as though nothing's happened to him. That is part of Joe's game. I think it's retribution for the tackle from before, the yellow card from before, let's say, and I think Joe will put up with that all day, as long as we're still winning the game, and he's hopefully going to get a few chances.
And right on the edge of the penalty area, guess who's marking Joe Garnet? It's Ian Everett. Free kick though for Preston, which is in a decent area now, and Gallagher can deliver it. It's quite central, so might struggle for a bit of an angle to curl it into the penalty area, but the 10 yards is being marched back and it looks like 20. It's a massive gap as Gallagher plays it in. Got a bit too much on it, but Huntington headed it down and there was no one there to flick it towards goal. Beckford trying to reach it, and John Welsh does well, and Welsh will get the cross in, and it gets blocked, and it's going to be a throw-in, but that's all about John Welsh. He's great at that.
Oh, he's been fantastic. He got himself back into the side later on in the season. He's been back in, he's been part of that long unbeaten run that we had before the other night, or before Colchester, should I say. He's there, he's a ball winner, he's a great pro, he wants to win the ball back for us, he wants to keep possession, he wants Preston North End to do well, and that's what we're looking for in a player.
Beckford clears long from the throw, and Bailey Wright chests it down for Neil Kilkenny. It's with Gallagher now, trying to clip away from Ryan, but he runs into trouble in Beckford, and now it's Klukas on the halfway line. Chesterfield just trying to get their passing football going again, and haven't quite been as free-flowing as they were on Thursday night, and Roberts has just been caught offside there for making the run forward, and it's going to be a free kick for Preston, but Preston have certainly had more of the ball than they did on Thursday night, and they're giving a good account of themselves here this afternoon. Yeah,
I think that's fair play to the manager and the staff. They've obviously looked at the game the other night, saw that the central corridor was a problem for Preston. Chesterfield had a lot of possession of the ball. Neil Kilkenny's come in, he's helping keeping possession of the ball, he keeps the ball moving. He may not always pass the ball forward, but he does try and keep possession of the ball all the time, and that's what we're looking for, and that's broken the game up a little bit today.
Welsh tries to play this forward towards Garner, but Sam Hurd's hit, and it goes straight out of play, and going to be a throw-in. Sam Hurd lost for the first time in the playoffs in his career on Thursday night. He was unbeaten before then with his time at Doncaster, but he's lasted longer today than he did earlier in the season in Chesterfield's 2-0 defeat in February, when he was sent off after 2 minutes for pulling back Joe Garnet. And this is a goal kick for Chesterfield now, who are waiting for Joe Murphy to take it. Paul Cook has opted for a policy of not naming a substitute goalkeeper on the bench for a while now, and Tommy Lee, who's his number one, who has played 100 games in a row before today, is out injured. We've got another couple of keepers out as well at the moment, in Aaron Chapman and Miles Wright. So the 33-year-old Murphy has got the call, and he hasn't had too much to do really in this first half, but he certainly hasn't put a foot wrong either. And Preston have got a throw-in midway inside the Chesterfield half. Really right to get it down with Kilkenny, trying to find Gallagher. It's Kilkenny again now, who tries to play it towards Daniel Johnson, who just got his ankle caught there, I think. But trying to run it off. And it's going to be Morsey now who brings it forward for Chesterfield. Jones is making the run down the left-hand side. Bailey Wright saw it but couldn't get there first. Klukas tries to touch it back for Roberts, and instead it's a clearance from Gallagher, which comes off the backside of Gary Roberts and falls into the arms of Sam Johnston. Could have gone anywhere there, but it was Jones who got into some space. Bailey Wright saw it, couldn't quite get there, left a hole in the penalty area, which Gary Roberts tried to exploit. But Preston survive as Adverts controls this, and tries to play it forward with the outside of his right foot and doesn't quite match it. And it's going to be a throw for Preston, but again, just a little bit of a warning sign there that defensively Preston have got to be alert. John Welsh tidies up though as Bailey Wright sends it back down towards the goalkeeper, and Johnston gets it upfield as Everts heads it towards Morsey. Kilkenny just wrestling with him, and Morsey shrugs off the Aussie. Lucas for Roberts, and Chesterfield keeping hold of it. And it's Will O'Shea back for Morsey this time, who's got a lot of space inside the Preston penalty area with the midfielder defence just sitting off. Roberts now on the edge of the box, trying to play in Darikwa, and Preston managed to smuggle it away, but Jermaine Beckford's back there helping out defensively, dropping in on the right-hand side, and he helps as Kilkenny has it now. Both teams, I think, just happy to take a bit of a breather because it's been a pretty frantic opening 35 minutes. But it's Chesterfield on the march again now with Morsey trying to find Clucas, who's into the penalty area now, and it's a good save by Sam Johnston, who flicks it up over the bar and it lands on the roof of the net. Clear chance there, and it fell to the Chesterfield man, Sam Clucas, who's got 12 goals already this season, and when 1-on-1 in the keeper, it was the Preston man who came out on top.
Sam Johnston's done fantastic there. It's 1-on-1, he's spread himself. I think he's just got a leg to the ball. It's looped up over the bar. They got in a little bit too easy, gave the ball away up front. Jermaine Beckford's got to keep hold of it better than that. They then broke through the middle of the pitch. Somebody's slipped a through ball in, and Sam Johnston's come to the rescue.
Corner now for Chesterfield, and it's played in by Roberts. It's a decent ball too, but Sam Johnston's great at that, comes and collects and does that really well, and now immediately whacks it upfield, and Jermaine Beckford's charging after it, and Murphy just judges that one right and catches the ball on the edge of the penalty area, and Sam Johnston left a little bit frustrated and apologises to Beckford, and Daniel Johnson plays it out for a throw-in.
Done well there, Sam. I mean, obviously he's just made the save before, the corner's come in. It's exactly what you're looking for from your keeper, to be big and strong. He's come and caught the ball. Unfortunately for him, he distributed it a bit quickly and kicked it, ended up going end to end, but it's a good bit of goalkeeping there from the goal from Sam.
He's really good at coming for crosses and claiming them like that. It's a real help as well to the defenders. This is Morsey for Chesterfield, square for Ryan, and with less than 10 minutes to go to half-time, it's Kilkenny who's just pushed back by Jimmy Ryan and gets the free kick for the challenge. But Preston's game management in the final few weeks of the season was questioned a little bit, but I think in this first half it's been pretty good, trying to make the most of the chances, playing at a good tempo, but then when they can, just slowing things down and trying to keep Chesterfield at arm's length. Here's a free kick now which Woods takes and plays it forward. Joe Garner against Everts, and it falls to Beckford, who tries to turn. That's a great goal, and Jermaine Beckford hits a massive blow against Chesterfield in this playoff semi-final. Joe Garner's flick on finds Jermaine Beckford. He did the business on Thursday night, and he's doing it again this afternoon at Deepdale. Just before half-time, Preston take the advantage. It's Preston 1, Chesterfield 0, and how crucial could that goal be?
Well, there you go, Joe Garner again. He's not the biggest in the air. He's up against Everett, he's got a great leap upon him, he's got a header into the box. Beckford's just rolled the other centre-half, hit the ball on the volley, far corner. It's Preston 1-0 up in this game, 2-0 up in the tie. Got to keep themselves together now. We just talked about the game management, keeping that central corridor, keeping it nice and tight, and I think it's restricted Chesterfield. Now they've just got to keep their heads for the next 5 or 10 minutes, get through to half-time, and regroup again from there. Great goal.
It was a brilliant strike from Jermaine Beckford. We're seeing replays of it in the big screen, and well, the striker who has been a revelation since his return from injury, he thought that his career might be over after Christmas when he was struggling to even walk, but he's come back, and well, he's on 14 goals for the season now, and he makes it 11 in the last 17 for the Lily Whites, and what a run Beckford is having. And he certainly looks a different player as Clucas runs after this, but just gets caught offside. But it's been a transformation really for Jermaine Beckford, and even looking at him now, he's smiling towards the touchline, and he looks as though he's really enjoying his football.
Yeah, manager obviously brings the best out in him. That's obviously why he came. Another opportunity to play first team football. I think he struggled early on. He struggled to take his chances, so he was a little bit rusty. But now at the end of the season, when the goals are important, he's firing, he's scoring goals. He scored one in the first leg, he scored one in this leg. We've just got to keep it going now.
Sam Johnston plays this one up towards Garner, and again Everett just holding him off, and Garner left down in a heap on the floor. Roberts on the left hand side now for Chesterfield, who have got a mountain to climb. They're 2 behind in this tie as Johnson finds Beckford, the goal scorer. Garner's back on side as Jermaine Beckford rolls it in field, and well, he's got to be quick, and Roberts just got back there, and Joe Garner just caught Roberts there, and Garner's got to be a little bit careful. He's been booked, of course, and referee runs over to Garner and then just stops and has a quick word. But it was Beckford, the one who just got caught in possession, and Garner almost getting himself in trouble, and Preston will not want to see Garner pick up another yellow card and miss the final, if they were to get there, of course, as Chesterfield give it away poorly. Kilkenny on the halfway line. Gallagher gives it back now to the Aussie. Joe Garner comes in short and tries to play in Gallagher, who's making the run. Hurd should get there first and just runs across Gallagher. And Deriqua finds Jimmy Ryan, and Chesterfield keeping themselves neat and tidy. As Jimmy Ryan has it now on the edge of the penalty area. A big 5 minutes before half-time now if Preston can try and see it through with this goal advantage. Really make it difficult for Chesterfield, and they're giving the ball away now just a couple of times after that goal. They give it to Daniel Johnson, and it's Jermaine Beckford now who has it, and he rolls it out wide for Tom Clark, and Jones slides in, puts it out for a throw-in, and it's going to be a Preston throw now, which Tom Clark, the captain today, gets ready to take, and he's in no real rush. But takes the throw and finds Garner, who's down by the goal line, and he just misplayed that one as he tried to knock it back for Beckford. He was in a decent position just inside the 18-yard box, and Morsey finds Deriqua out wide. O'Shea now for Chesterfield, who must be thinking the worst now. Jones on the halfway line, trying to take on Jermaine Beckford, who has been so pivotal, and that's a striker's challenge, unfortunately, and got nowhere near the ball. Took Jones out, and he's going to pick up a yellow card from Andy D'Urso. He apologised immediately, but that's definitely what's called a striker's challenge.
Yeah, I think Jermaine got left one-on-one down the line. Fullback took him on. Clarkey had gone inside with the centre forward, left him one-on-one, and I think he decided that he wasn't running any further. And if I'm not running any further, nor you as a fullback.
It's a free kick, which Chesterfield will look to capitalise from before half-time, and they really need something. And we've got Roberts ready, and it's as though they might have O'Shea as well. And they've got quite a few bodies in the box. And it is O'Shea who plays it in towards the penalty area. It's flicked on, and I think it just hit Everett and came off him and made it easy for Sam Johnston. But it was a dangerous ball in, and caused 1 or 2 problems there for Preston.
Yeah, it was a nasty little flick on. I think Morsey got the little flick on. Could have gone anywhere. It went straight into a group of bodies. Luckily, it hit somebody and bounced down to Sam Johnston, who kept holding it. Who's had a good half. He's made an important save.
Joe Garner's on the run again. Sorry, Andy's giving Jones a real run for his money, and Jones, I think, is going to concede the corner, and he does. But again, that's Joe Garner, and everyone down below us up on their feet applauding the effort there of the Preston forward, chasing down lost causes, and he's won his side a corner kick, really, and not too many strikers would have continued to chase after that one. And if Preston can try and score from their first corner of the afternoon, it would certainly be worthwhile. Gallagher's across to take it now on the right-hand side. and he's got plenty to aim at. The big men are up from the back, and Gallagher crosses this one in, looking for Huntington. Didn't quite reach him. Jones gets it away. John Welsh reaches it first and gets it to Gallagher, who flicks away from Roberts and then plays it back in. Everett clears it away, but it's not the best as Welsh finds Huntington. He just tried to help it in, and now Jimmy Ryan brings it forward for the Spyrites. He hasn't got a great deal of support though, and he's just keeping hold of it on the halfway line as men stream past him. Morsey is an option, and forward it goes, and it's with Roberts now, who is taking on Gallagher, and Roberts is still going now, and he fires this one across, and John Welsh is there to put it behind for a corner kick. This could be Chesterfield's best chance of getting back into it. They've got another corner kick.
Well, that's John Welsh all over, winning the ball on the edge of their box. Is this gone and stopped cross going in deep in our box? Non-stop running from John. He's putting himself and his body on the line for the game today.
Roberts with the corner now for Chesterfield, and it's a big moment in this game, with 2 minutes of added time indicated by the fourth official. Roberts plays it in. Huntington tries to get there. It's nodded down and cleared off the line by Gallagher, and hacked away by John Welsh. Important block there from Paul Gallagher, who was on the post, on the goal line, and he did his job. And well, that shows the importance of keeping men on the posts when defending set pieces. Here's Jones for Chesterfield, who are giving it a really good go before half-time now. Morsey trying to get away from the challenges. Jones this time gives it towards O'Shea, who's in from the right-hand side now. Roberts on the left gets it. He's by the dead ball line, and he crosses it in, and Johnson comes and snaffles that one ahead of Ollie Banks. Eases the danger and gives everyone a big sigh of relief around Deepdale here today. But a decent spell from Chesterfield just before the break end.
Yeah, they've got to give it everything now. They obviously tried to get themselves back into the game, but as I was just saying earlier, Sam Johnson kept Preston in the game with his one-on-one save. He's made a couple of good catches from crosses now, which relieves the pressure. And Gally there doing a proper defender's job. You've been given a job to do before the game. If you're on the goal line, you're on the post, you do your job until the ball's cleared. Gally stuck to his guns, stayed on the line and cleared one off the line for us.
Chesterfield have it again deep inside their own half with Hurd, but we're in the last knockings really of the first half as they play it long for Clucas, but Sam Johnston gets there first. But it really was an important save that Sam Johnston made 10 minutes before half-time to deny Clucas when he was through one-on-one, and the big keeper got enough on it to flick it up over the bar and clears his lines again long this time. But Simon Grayson will be grateful for that. But it's Jermaine Beckford who everybody will be talking about at half-time, because it's his goal in this first half that gives Preston the advantage, and they are very much favourites to see this through and set up a playoff final at Wembley 2 weeks today. Bailey Whites will be kicking from right to left as we look. The attendance 15,641, 1,628 making the trip from Chesterfield here today, so over 15,000 inside Deepdale to watch this playoff second leg, and hoping to be celebrating in about 45 minutes time. Beckford chests this one down and finds Daniel Johnson, comes out towards Tom Clark, he hits it long as Garnet tries to run onto it, just goes over his head. Murphy's back there and the goalkeeper clears it upfield. Daniel Johnson heads it down for Beckford, who tries to hit it early, appeals for handball, but the referee disagrees. Morsey now out wide, and Chesterfield running forward again, trying to find O'Shea, who gets it down the line, and it's played in for Roberts, who gets there now from the miscued ball in, and Roberts just buzzing around, still with Chesterfield, and it's O'Shea, who is also dancing on the ball as it is played wide. They're just not getting it in at the moment, so they've got a big line of players waiting in the 18-yard box. Preston have everyone bar Garner and Beckford back defending. Derrickwa for Ryan. Comes towards Derrickwa again on this right side. Now Roberts. And centrally this time for O'Shea, who touches it in for Lucas. And it almost fell for Derrickwa and goes out for a corner kick. And Preston again back to the walls at the start of the second half. Have got to hold on firm and defend well.
Yeah, very lucky there that O'Shea took a really bad touch. Could have taken a good touch. He was through one-on-one with on goal again. Good covering, but Galley managed to get a toe in and give it away for a corner. But at the end of the day, very lucky that there was a bad touch involved.
O'Shea with the corner now for Chesterfield in front of the Spyrites fans who have made the trip to Preston this afternoon. Here is O'Shea's delivery towards the near post. Gallagher got it away. Falls out to Morsey, who's got two Preston players in front of him, and Beckford trying to win it back, but Morsey keeps hold of it well, and they find Ryan, who plays it infield now for Roberts, who is a man who knows what he's doing at this level. He's won promotion also with Simon Grayson with Huddersfield a few years ago. O'Shea for Ryan. Now back to the halfway line they are sent, but Preston have still got everybody behind the ball, and everyone's back there trying to deal with it. At the moment they're a little bit out of shape because Bailey Wright's in the right back role and Tom Clark's filling in at centre half, and still that is going to continue as Chesterfield push forward. Daniel Johnson though just does enough to put off the Chesterfield man, and it falls now to Neil Kilkenny, who will look to keep hold of it and try and find Beckford, but he's just got the deflection. It's going to be a throw-in instead. Here are the two teams at the start of the second half. Johnston's in goal, and at the back it's Woods, Wright, Huntington and Clark. Welsh and Kilkenny, the two holding midfielders, with Gallagher, Johnson, Beckford and Garnet in front of them. It's played up towards Beckford, who is the difference between the two teams here today as he was on Thursday, but out it goes for a goal kick, and Joe Murphy will take that. He's in goal for Chesterfield. They've got Jones, Everett, Hurd and Derrickwa the back four, Morsey and Ryan the two holding midfielders, then Banks, Roberts and O'Shea ahead of them, with Lucas up top for Chesterfield, who haven't won in the last 4 games. They've lost 3 of them as well. However, they've scored 3 or more goals in 13 games this season, and they've only won the last 6. There was a thumping 6-0 win at home against Colchester last month, so they have got plenty of goals in their locker, it would seem. We just haven't seen them score against Preston so far. As again they try and break forward, but Preston defend well, and it's Tom Clark who steps forward now and hits it up towards Joe Garner, who's going forward, but Hurd heads it away and it falls to Gallagher. Now Joe Garner, who's at the end, that he scored what turned out to be the Football League goal of the year 12 months ago to the day. This is Gallagher getting away past Derrickwa, and still going now. Gallagher, who just had a heavy touch there, shows too much of it to Ryan, who brings it forward now, and it's Chesterfield's turn with Roberts out wide for O'Shea. Chesterfield continuing to have men forward, and at the beginning of the second half continuing to look bright. Preston are continuing to defend well. O'Shea challenged well by Neil Kilkenny, who does that very well indeed, and Kilkenny hits it high upfield, and it's headed back by Adverts to the goalkeeper Murphy, and it's going to be a Chesterfield ball. Looks like there could be a change for Simon Grayson in a moment or two, and it's going to be a bit of a surprising one as well, because I think it's Alan Brown who is getting ready to come on, and he hasn't had a great deal of football of late. He hasn't played in the last 23 games, so I wonder if there's a bit of an injury that the manager's thinking about at the moment. But certainly Alan Brown is the one getting ready as Chesterfield have it on the halfway line. Jones in field to Morsey, and now Hurd at the back. Darikwa is getting away from Gallagher, and he's continuing to push forward. Kilkenny chasing after him as Darikwa offloads it, and it's a challenge that is a bit too difficult for Banks to reach. It's just gone away from him, and it's going to be a throw. And well, with Alan Brown set to come on, it looks as though it is an injury, and it could be that it's Paul Gallagher, the man who is down, and the physio just having a look at him, and presumably that's what the problem is.
Yeah, very possibly. It looks like Gallagher was limping. He made that forward run earlier. He struggled to get back. He stayed down for a little while, struggled to get back, and there you go. That's the substitution. So Alan Brown will come into midfield and give the side legs. Yes, he's not been involved much towards the back end of the season, but he started the season really, really well. He's full of energy. He's a tough tackle in midfield play. Yes, he's a young lad, but at the end of the day, he's got legs, and I'm sure the boys will help him through the game.
He did feature in the playoff campaign at the end of last season, as Paul Gallagher is helped off, limping quite badly. But hopefully it's not a serious one. But he's got a couple of weeks to try and recover for the final if Preston can get there. And Gallagher is off the field now as Alan Brown comes on, and well, he's a player that we know quite a lot about, of course. Over the last few months he's spent quite a lot of time commentating and helping out, but he's been waiting for his chance, and he's got it now, very much at the business end of the season, as Gallagher is helped to a seat in the technical area in front of us. This is Jones now for Chesterfield, crossing this one in. Lucas tries to get there, but Bailey Wright turns it behind for a corner kick. And at half-time there was a bit of a Legends parade, and Mike Jackson was on the field, and they had a quick interview with him, and he said he thought Chesterfield will throw everything at Preston for the first 15 minutes of the second half, and he hasn't been far wrong.
No, that's what they've come out and done, Chesterfield. They've come out really bright, kept possession, moved the ball, didn't put the ball in the box when they had an opportunity. They kept possession, kept looking for that opportunity. They did get one, they had a bad touch, and Preston got it away.
Roberts with the corner now, drifting this one in, and it's a header from Adverts, which is caught on the goal line by Sam Johnston. But well, that would have been slightly ironic if the former Blackpool man, who's had a bit of stick all afternoon, was to get Chesterfield back in this tie. But his header was saved by Johnston. He made an important save in the first half, of course, when the game was goalless. Beckford's on the ball now, the goal scorer. Preston leading this second leg by a goal to nil, 2-0 on aggregate. And about 35 minutes to go. Clark plays this one in. Darikwa gets it away with a few half-hearted appeals for handball. Darikwa sprinting after it again as Neil Kilkenny tries to get there, and Neil Kilkenny does well. It's going to be a Chesterfield throw which they take quickly, and this is Ollie Banks who's on it. He's playing it back for Jimmy Ryan. And, Jones is an option on the left-hand side, but instead finds Morsey. And Morsey and Ryan, who see an awful lot of the ball for Chesterfield, trying to get them ticking over again as Banks is challenged by Johnson, who just went through the back of him. And midfielder ticking off from Andy D'Urso. It's going to be a free kick for the visitors. And going to be Adverts, who just touches it for Jimmy Ryan, and now he plays it out wide for Darikwa, who tries to meet the back to the ball, and just makes it difficult. A bit of a glare around towards Jimmy Ryan, but Chesterfield will have the throw in, and Preston will continue to defend. Preston have had an excellent defensive record this season, conceding only 40 League One goals. Only Bristol City conceded fewer in the division. They've also kept 22 clean sheets so far in league action this season, which is level with MK Dons, including the game on Thursday night. Murphy has this now for Chesterfield inside the penalty area, and Chesterfield just having a bit of a breather as they play it up towards Donna, who got there ahead of Johnson. The Preston fans are already thinking about Wembley. You can hear them chanting in the background as Woods plays this one forward, and Joe Garnet running after it. Hurd is back there, and Hurd does okay, and Murphy returns the ball to him. Chesterfield clearing away, so sticking to their guns, passing their way forward as Banks finds Darikwa. And Brown just helped off the ball there by Ryan, and fairly so. And it's a free kick for Preston. But game management is going to be important now for this next 35 minutes or so, Andy.
Yeah, I talked about that half-time. Game management is important. It was important first half. Obviously, it had to frustrate Chesterfield because they're always going to come out. They've got to come and attack the game. Preston did really well. They contained them. I say there was only one clear opportunity which Sam Johnson snuffed out in the second half. Again, they've got to take this thing out of the tail. We're 10-11 minutes in now. Game's going a little bit flatter. Preston are making it a little bit more scrappy, and that's what they've got to do with the game. Just go out there and make sure they win this.
Ryan against Kilkenny sees free kick go Chesterfield's way, and Jimmy Ryan's gone down after the challenge. But we won't want to waste too much time because obviously Chesterfield have got to find 2 goals to send it to extra time. There's no away goal rule in the playoffs. Incidentally, that was removed back in 2000. Then Ipswich chairman David Sheepshanks, after Ipswich twice lost in the playoffs to away goals in the late 90s. So it is clear what Chesterfield need to do. They need to find a couple of goals, as Preston have got some defending to do, no doubt, in this one. But they are certainly in the driving seat, looking to try and see it through now to get a place at the new Wembley for the very first time. Their first appearance at Wembley in over 20 years, as Johnston tries to find Beckford, who tries to keep it in and can't quite. He was always running out of room, and it's going to be a goal kick for Chesterfield. But Grayson continuing just to tinker and get some instructions on. Lots of discussion going on in the technical area, and Murphy with this goal kick for Chesterfield, looking to try and get them going again. But after a good opening 10 minutes, the last 5 minutes or so has been a little bit flat, as Andy Fenton was saying, as Evers heads this one away. Brown trying to get there. Adverts wrong-footing Donna and finding Jimmy Ryan. Comes back to the Chesterfield keeper. Paul Cook and Chesterfield have had an excellent campaign, let's not forget. I mean, they were as low as 11th place in the table as recently as the middle of March, but won 6 of 8 after that to really move themselves up and get themselves into the top 6 to book this playoff campaign. Darikwa with the throw for the Spirites now, midway inside the Preston half. Comes back to him from Banks, but he can't get it through the legs of Woods. And Jermaine Beckford now just trying to hold off the challenges, but then he gives it straight to Hurd. And Chesterfield hitting upfield looking for Clucas, but Tom Clark is able to deal with that one. His clearance is a poor one, and it finds Jones. Midway inside the Preston half, on the left, as Chesterfield just again take their time over things. Ryan for Morsey. Roberts back for Hurd. Preston have everyone by Garnet behind the ball now. Just dropping back, trying to soak up the pressure that Chesterfield are trying to force. Out wide it is with O'Shea. Finding Ryan, and now Roberts, going a little bit more central now as they play it wide for Jones, the left back, who can try and drill in the cross, but it's blocked by Tom Clark. Preston have everyone bar Garnet now in the penalty area as Chesterfield continue to push forward. They've got to break down this resolute and well-organised Preston defence. Roberts trying to find the key to unlock the defence, and in the end it's Beckford who clears it up towards Garnet. He does really well to flick it on, and now Neil Kilkenny's running forward, and Daniel Johnson's there too. It's going to be just ahead of Johnson, and Murphy comes and brings him down, and it's going to be a penalty, and Preston can put the game to bed now. And Daniel Johnson wins the spot kick as Joe Murphy on his Chesterfield debut just caught him, and Preston have a chance now to seal it and get their preparation started for the final at Wembley 2 weeks today. Now Joe Garnet is getting ready to take the penalty kick. He has missed a spot kick this season, of course, but he has got a great chance to seal it here today. And Joe Garnet, who has been Preston's Man of the Year with important goals throughout the campaign, could be about to send his team to Wembley with this penalty kick. Garnet is ready. He steps up now and scores! And Preston are going to be playing in the final at Wembley. Huge goal, and the Lily Whites have got past Chesterfield now. Set the sat-nav for Wembley. Preston are coming, and the promotion dream is very much alive and kicking for Preston 7 days on after huge disappointment. Deepdale is bouncing again. Joe Garnet scores 2-0 to Preston on the day, 3-0 aggregate now.
Again, it shows what a good squad rotation system Simon's using. Neil Kilkenny not played for a few weeks now. He's ended up back in the squad today, back in the team. He's got the ball out of defence. He's made a pass through to Daniel Johnson. He's just toe-poked the ball away from goal, just in front of the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper's had to make the challenge, brought Daniel Johnson down. Opportunity for a penalty, and there he is. Joe Garnet's put it away. Set herself up for hopefully a Wembley final that's coming in a few weeks' time.
Huge relief really for Preston, and Joe Garnet getting the goal it had to be. And well, listen to the noise now inside Deepdale. It's a massive goal that has surely snuffed out any hope that Chesterfield had of mounting a comeback, as Tom Clark here tries to push forward again for his team. But Chesterfield have done well. They've had a great season, but they finished 20 points behind the Lily Whites in the season, a massive number really, and they've got themselves on the back foot again as Preston continue to push forward. But Simon Grayson celebrating that third goal, knowing that it was a crucial blow, and the home fans certainly thinking that as well. They are all in fine voice as Clark plays this one up towards Adverts. Comes back off Joe Garnet now, and I think that's come off Garnet for a goal kick. But Simon Grayson will certainly be thinking now about Wembley, even though there's still 25 minutes to go. And Chesterfield are making a change. Ollie Banks is going to come off, and they are bringing on Armand Bandoule, the French Ivorian, who has got 3 goals this season, but he's not scored in his last 16. He is a big striker though, and he is going straight upfield for Paul Cook and Chesterfield now, as they look to try and make a comeback of Houdini quality. This is Garner again, trying to take on Adverts, and just giving the free kick away for a high boot. And I wonder how long it'll be before Grayson decides to bring off Joe Garnet and just wrap him up in cotton wool ahead of the final in a couple of weeks. He is on a yellow card, of course, for a challenge earlier on in the game. This is Direcque back for Ryan on the halfway line. Ryan just turning, trying to run forward, trying to find a way past the Preston back line. But it's been an excellent response from Preston after the huge disappointment of the defeat at Colchester last Sunday. Everyone
travelling there with high expectation in big numbers, looking to try and do the job. But there is a day to look forward to at Wembley to come, and well, it's going to be quite a sight at Wembley on that day in a couple of weeks' time for Simon Grayson and his men. Chesterfield have got a man down, and there's sorting out for the referee to do. Alan Brown just getting a talking to after a challenge on Sam Morsey, but the home fans certainly enjoying it now. It's a great sight to see.
Yeah, the playoffs have created an atmosphere within the leagues which obviously has been going on for a long while now. I think it's only been good for the game. It keeps a lot more teams interested for a lot longer during the season. I have to say it's the best way to go up if you go to Wembley and win it. It's a cruel way and a lot of extra work for nothing if you don't. But Preston at this moment in time look like they're going to get there. They've just got to make sure they see this game out, get themselves right, and major credit to them for coming back from last Sunday, where such a disappointment for the whole club, not just for the squad that played, but for the whole club, for everybody that works within the club, to come back in the two games and put on displays like they have done, and shows resilience, because Thursday wasn't easy for them. They got a good result away from home. They've come back home today. They've got the 2 goals that they needed. Major credit to the 2 strikers. Both scored, both on yellow cards, so they've got to be careful. Neither of them want to be missing the game, but major credit to the team, the management staff, for putting themselves through the agony, and let's hope they can go and get themselves a joyous occasion at the end of the season.
It's another substitution for Chesterfield, and another striker is coming on. They're bringing off the left-back Daniel Jones, and Aribi is coming on, the American, who came through the academy at Southampton, and well, what an academy it is that they have got, and some of the players they've produced is quite outstanding. Aribi's coming on now for the final 23 minutes or so, and he's going to try and now add to the Chesterfield attack. They were 3 down against Preston here at Deepdale earlier in the campaign. Owen Doyle got a hat-trick to sort things out on that occasion, but so far it hasn't been a good day for Chesterfield. But they have got this corner kick, and they're going to take it quickly, although they've took it too quickly, and they give it straight to Neil Kilkenny, and Preston might be able to push forward, and it's Beckford running here. Directwood trying to get there. Directwood is quick and strong, and Beckford still not letting him up as Direcwood tries to deal with it and tries to get it off Beckford and wins the throw-in instead. But that's good stuff from Preston and from Jermaine Beckford, taking a leaf out of Joe Garner's book.
Yeah, Beckford he's chased down along a pass really from Kilkenny. Kilkenny again has broke out from defence. He chased it as well, so they kept Chesterfield in the corner there, and they've made him. Well, they ended up getting a throw-in out of it, but at the end of the day, it's great closing down from both of those players.
Quite a number of substitutes are warming up for Preston at the moment. Not sure if there's going to be another change. I think it could be Scott Laird, who's just been given the nod by the manager to get ready, and looks like he'll be brought on shortly. As O'Shea clips this one forward, but John Welsh gets there first. Jimmy Ryan stops it reaching Joe Garnet, and it's Chesterfield who have it again on the halfway line with Morsey out wide for O'Shea, who is under pressure. Huntington gets there first to get it away, and back for Ryan as Johnson chases after him. And still Preston defend and see it out of play for a throw-in. O'Shea which moves away as Direcwood takes it. Scott Laird is going to come on shortly for Preston, and we'll see what that plan is. Might be just to try and firm things up in midfield, probably for Daniel Johnson. We'll wait and see exactly. This is Roberts for Chesterfield, who are desperately searching for a goal now to give them some hope against all the odds. This is Morsey again, trying to turn away from Beckford. But Preston continue to defend well, and they release Garner this time, who's going for a long-range effort. He was trying to lock the goalkeeper from the halfway line. Joe Garner really would have walked on water had he got that one in, but it was straight into the arms of Joe Murphy in the end. An audacious attempt.
Yeah, but that's Joe Garner all over. Like I say, doesn't just score the tap-ins, doesn't just get his headers. He's looking to score from the halfway line, and as a really good centre forward who scores lots of goals. That's that's what you've got to do. You've got to improvise, and Joe's one of the best at it.
Well, Chesterfield are pushing so many men forward at the moment, it's leaving huge holes at the back, and they were almost caught out there, but Preston couldn't release Beckford in time. And Chesterfield survive for now. Chesterfield play it upfield. It's headed away by Tom Clark. Kenny looking for Alan Brown, trying to play the 1-2 as Brown is tripped on the halfway line, but no free kick. Just trying to work out how Preston are playing in midfield at the moment. It looks as though Johnson's the left winger and Alan Brown's on the right. Looks as though that's how things are going, as Scott Laird looks like he's going to come on now. He is going to be for Johnson, so the former Chesterfield man. He's going to get a good ovation as he comes off here with 20 minutes to go. As Scott Laird comes on, and he'll probably just slot in on that left-hand side in midfield to firm things up.
Yeah, it looks like Preston have gone to a 4-4-2. You've got Alan Brown on the right-hand side, Cook, Kenny and Welsh in the middle. Daniel Johnson was on this left-hand side. Look, Scott Laird will come in here, fitting on this left-hand side as normal, just bolstering the midfield up. You've then got Garnet and Beckford, who work between them into the midfield to almost make it a 4-5-1.
Well, after all that explanation, Andy, I think they're just going to change it. And I think they're going to go 3-5-2, because Scott Laird is going to play as a left wing back, Woods is going to be a right wing back, so Wright, Huntington and Clark are going to be a back three. That is the change that has just been made, as O'Shea tries to find Roberts, but Bailey Wright comes forward and looks for Joe Garnet. You could see Everett arriving, but couldn't get the ball up towards Garner in time. And it's going to be for Laird, who has it now. Patches it back for Bailey Wright. And Wright plays it back to the goalkeeper. Preston don't need to take any chances now. They lead this particular game by 2-0, 3-0 on aggregate. Beckford and Garnet getting a goal each today, adding to the goal that Beckford scored on Thursday at Chesterfield. And it's all going Preston's way with about 18 minutes of normal time to go. As Chesterfield continue to push forward, and well, I think they've got about 4, maybe 5 up front at the moment. Derek on the right-hand side, running at Laird, and gets the ball played in. Bailey Wright heads it away, and out it goes for a throw-in. And Dan Gardner, I think, is going to come on shortly for Chesterfield, but Paul Cook just telling him to wait, as Preston have more defending to do. O'Shea on the right-hand side, drifting in field, giving it towards Roberts, and trying to get past Welsh. Roberts to the edge of the penalty area where O'Shea is waiting, but Bailey Wright holds him up. Preston whack it clear, and Hurd turns it back down towards Everett now. Chesterfield just playing, I think, with 2 at the back, with Everett and Hurd, and everyone else just pushing upfield. This is Ryan now. Out wide for Derrickwa, who crosses in. There's a stretched one though, as Alan Brown flicks it on and Woods gets it away. Garner runs after it, and it's with Chesterfield again, as Aribi plays it out wide for Roberts. And now it's O'Shea, who's a long way out. He plays it for Ryan, who will hit it, and it's just wide, and it took a deflection on its way, so it will be a corner kick. Well, everyone's back there defending at the moment. It's going to take something pretty special, but just as Jordan Hugill looks like he's going to come on, there's a man injured, and Preston are waving they've got to make a change, so Hugill might have to wait. He's stripped off, ready to come on, but he's just been told now that he's going to have to sit down. Chesterfield are still going, and they hit the post, and I think it was Roberts. It was Roberts or O'Shea who tried to get there, and full stretch Johnson couldn't get there, and it comes back off the post. So Chesterfield's showing there's still life in them, and there's a man down, and I think it's Woods who is down, and he's had hamstring trouble this season already, and he's down at the moment, looking at his left leg. I'm not sure if it's a hamstring or something different, but he's back up on his feet now. Chris Humphrey is the one ready to come on for Simon Grayson, and we'll just have to wait and see whether or not it's just a case of cramp or something more serious. But Chesterfield have still got it, and it's with Darikwa on the right-hand side, taking on Laird. Darikwa's looked a decent player over the last couple of games, in fairness to him, as Ryan finds Morsey, but Alan Brown gets the block in, and Hurd will have it now. O'Shea on the right-hand side. Preston still getting back there to defend, and the ball is overhit, and I think Preston are going to take no chances with Woods, and they're going to bring him off and put Chris Humphrey on for the last 15 minutes, so it won't be a return to action in a Preston shirt for Jordan Hugill. He must wait, because the third and final change is going to be a precaution one really for Woods, who has done well today, coming in from the cold really to get a first start in a couple of weeks, and he's hobbling off now as Chris Humphrey comes on, and well, a bit of bad luck really. It might just be a bit of cramp. Hopefully that's all it will be for Woods, because he's done well today and he hasn't done anything wrong, has he, as Humphrey comes on?
No, he's come back into the side today, started off at left back, had a good steady game, nothing spectacular, did his job, moved over to the right-hand side as a right wing back, and probably the pace of the game's just got to him a little bit today after sort of being out of the squad for a while, having a few injuries this season. Chris Humphrey's coming on, great workhorse up and down the line there, and he'll just slot straight in.
Ryan on the halfway line, just fending off Kilkenny, and it's Hurd, and he gives it back to Murphy, who gave away that penalty that Joe Garner dispatched to really settle this tie in effect. Here's Alan Brown now for Preston. Plays a 1-2 with John Welsh and continues to push forward as Brown just overhits it out wide towards Chris Humphrey. And Preston just trying to get themselves sorted defensively. There's still a few instructions coming on from the sidelines as they look to try and firm things up. But one thing that Preston are going to have to be careful of in the last 15 minutes or so is that Beckford and Garnet don't get another booking, because they've both been shown yellows earlier on. So hopefully someone's had a word with them not to do anything silly. They'll know as well, no doubt, what's at stake. Darikwa up towards Bandule, but Bailey White plays it away. Alan Brown gets it a bit further forward too. Adverts gets it out wide, and it's on the halfway line with Morsey. John Welsh intercepted but couldn't keep hold of it. Preston have made more playoff appearances than any other side in the Football League. They've reached the final on 3 occasions, twice in the second tier, once in the fourth tier, but never at the new Wembley, twice at Cardiff and once at the old one. There's Darikwa here on the right-hand side, has it by the corner flag. Darikwa pushing Laird back, and Laird doing well just to hold him off, and Chesterfield have got themselves a corner. And they've got enough forward-thinking players on the field at the moment. They're going to send the 2 defenders up as well in Everett and Hurd. But Colchester have failed to score in 9 of the last 12 meetings against Preston, and they're struggling for a goal here today as it's played in now. And Dooley just gets it away from Everett, and he was best placed, and out it goes for a goal kick for Preston. But just over 10 minutes to go. Chesterfield need to find 3 goals to send it to extra time, and it looks as though not even a miracle is going to save them here today or in this playoff campaign. And well, all eyes will turn to the game tomorrow between Sheffield United and Swindon in the other semi-final of this playoff campaign, to see who the Lily Whites will face at Wembley in a couple of weeks' time. And Swindon will have the advantage going into that second leg. Here's O'Shea now for Chesterfield, trying to find a way forward, and he just runs into Huntington. He defends well, loses the ball, and Preston have it again with Brown, who has done well since coming on. Neil Kilkenny plays it forward for Garnet, who heads it down. Alan Brown's continuing to run forward as he plays it back for Garnet. And Donna's running forward now, trying to finish it with his left foot, but never really got enough on it. And it's going to be
a goal kick for Chesterfield, and they thought about making a change, bringing on Garnet a few minutes ago. It might have to be forced now because I think it's Gary Roberts who's gone down, and he looks in quite some pain with 10 minutes to go. And Paul Cook, whose season is about to end in the next 10 minutes, he's going to make his final change, and Dan Gardner will come on. And Roberts has looked good for them over the last couple of games, and he's got a bit of an injury now. Looks as though he's not going to be able to continue. But he's another one that Simon Grayson will know well from their time together at Huddersfield, but looks as though his game's over.
Yeah, he's comfortable on the ball. He's put some crosses in early on in the first half. Preston have just seen the game out at this moment in time, that they're quite happy to sit with the 5 at the back. They've got the lads in midfield now with a little bit of legs. Alan Brown's on in there. Neil Kilkenny's keeping possession, moving the ball. John Welsh is putting the tackles in when needed. And Joe Garnet and Beckford up front will just try and sniff out any sort of late chances that they're going to get. Preston are doing the job. They did the job in the first game. Yes, they didn't have a lot of possession, but they sort of held the shape, defended heroically at times, kept Chesterfield at bay, scored the goal. They've come here today knowing that, again, got to do a job. After the massive disappointment from the Colchester game, they've come here, they've got the goal in the first half, they've seen everything else out, got the penalty, and now they've really just got to see 10 minutes out of the game out.
It's amazing how quickly fortunes can change. 7 days in football is a big thing. Of course, last week, huge disappointment. Today, there's going to be a huge celebration.
Yeah, and rightly so for the supporters. Everyone would have been thoroughly disappointed how the end of the season went for us. But now we've got an opportunity, or it looks like we've got an opportunity, because you never say never, but looks like we've got an opportunity to go to Wembley, give ourselves a right good go, and get ourselves up another division.
Chesterfield just trying to get the ball down to get it upfield. Ryan, who's being challenged, is going to go out for another throw-in. How do you read the other semi-final tomorrow night then, Andy, with Swindon and Sheffield United?
Well, Sheffield United obviously labelled a very good cup side, and to be fair, I think that's where Preston's run after January started. I don't think many people give us a lot of opportunity to go and win there. We won the game in the FA Cup, and that kick-started our season again. I can see them coming back into it. They're not going to be an easy side to be beaten. No Nigel Clough, and I'm sure he's going to get them wound up ready for the game, and Swindon won't find it easy to get through.
It's certainly going to be a difficult one. Even to pick a winner from now, it's going to be a tough one. As Ruby goes down just on the edge of the penalty. I think it was just a tangle of legs, nothing more than that. And Joe Garnet here does well, and he releases Humphrey, sprinting forward down the right. Beckford's in some space in the middle too. If Humphrey can find him, the ball is played in, and it's turned behind by Hurd for a corner kick for Preston. Lovely move there, and well, Garnet, Humphrey, they're all involved.
Yeah, up to Garnet on the halfway line, and I think that's where at times we've been let down a little bit. They haven't held the ball up particularly well at this game, especially first half. Could have done with more of it. But Joe held the ball up there, flicked it up over his head. Chris Humphrey continued his run, got down the line, put a cross in, and unfortunately we just couldn't get another goal, but we got a corner out of it.
Neil Kenny is on the corner. Alan Brown is going over with him as well. He's got two players out of the box. Chesterfield are leaving 3 up, incidentally, and 2 for the short corner. This is not many opportunities for them to defend, but Garner got the header in and just sent it over the bar for the Lily Whites. But Murphy ready with this goal kick for Chesterfield. But they've obviously had a huge reliance on Owen Doyle for goals this season. Obviously, since he left in January, they've done well to keep it going. And I think here today they've done everything well. It's just in that final third they've just looked a little short.
Yeah, I think it showed on Thursday that they can have as much possession as you want, but if you don't put the ball in the back of the net, you're going to struggle to win games. Don't get me wrong, Chesterfield have done fantastically well to get where they are. They came up as champions last season. They played some excellent football during the season. They played really well the other night, to be fair to them, although, like you say, goal scoring is massive. Didn't quite manage to do it. I think today's just been another game too far for them.
They've got a throw in, right in front of the 2 managers. Simon Grayson has done the job in the playoffs for Preston so far. But, of course, the big day is still to come. And it's going to come down to 90 minutes at Wembley after a 62-game season. It's going to come down to one game to secure promotion. Here's Ryan now for Chesterfield, slotting it wide for Darikwa, who fizzes it in, and Bailey Wright clears it away. Darikwa turns it back for Jimmy Ryan, who again only picks out Bailey Wright, who heads it away. This is Beckford, who was fouled by Hurd, and it's going to be a free kick for Preston. And still Simon Grayson talking away, getting his team organised, trying to line them up defensively. He will not want to let anything slip in this final 5 minutes of normal time at the end at Deepdale, on what is going to be the final game at Deepdale we will see this season. It will be Championship football next that comes to Preston in August. Here's Beckford just holding the defenders off here and holding it back. Kenny will keep hold of it and finds Laird. Beckford turning and trying to trick his way past Hurd, but the defender comes away with the ball. And this is Garnet now, the substitute, who is taking on Laird, some fresh legs. And he's just pulled back by Laird, and it's going to be a free kick. And Chesterfield take it quickly now, but they will know that their game is up. A few of their fans already have headed through the exit doors, and they make their trip home. Ryan on the right-hand side, back for Garnet. Only Wright does well, holds him off, and Beckford steps away from one, and now Beckford trying to lock the goalkeeper, and he does! And what a strike from Jermaine Beckford, who seals the victory with a plum, with a fine long-range strike, and Preston start the celebrations early here. We are going to Wembley in the League One playoff final, and Jermaine Beckford has scored 3 goals in this semi-final that really have put Preston North End on the map. He is celebrating with a huge run down the touchline, but that is a great long-range goal from Jermaine Beckford, who has set things alight since his return to injury, and almost single-handedly he has put Preston into the League One playoff final. But that was a great finish.
What can you say about that? Joe Garner tried one probably 20 minutes ago. We all looked up and laughed, to be perfectly honest. Beckford received the ball in a little bit of a wider position, very simple, up top, hit the ball over the top of the goalkeeper, Joe Murphy. He's probably wondering, I wish I'd have stayed at Huddersfield now. But great goal. 3 goals in the semi-finals for Jermaine now, and at the end of the day it's put Preston into, give us a massive second chance to go up from this division.
It really has, and well, the game quickly getting underway with Chesterfield on the attack again, but they've had it now. They're not going to be able to celebrate today. It's going to be Preston's day as the Preston players continue to defend here, and Aribi fires this one in. Dule tries to get there, he just misses it, and Scott Laird will look to bring it forward. Neil Kilkenny now just losing out. The challenge from Ryan, and it's going to be with Chesterfield, but Jimmy Ryan's still nibbling away, and it's going to be O'Shea for Chesterfield now on the right-hand side, as Alan Bryan just pulls him back and gives the free kick away. All the fans getting ready for a pitch invasion at the end, with about a minute of normal time to go, and it's going to be a scene of celebration for Preston in a couple of moments' time. Plenty of heartache down the years in the playoffs have hit Preston, but so far in this campaign it is going well. But Chesterfield can get on the scoreboard here with this free kick, which Klukas and O'Shea are stood over. Ryan is there too. The wall is lined up just on the edge of the box, and it's O'Shea who hits it. Never really caught it though, and it's saved on the goal line by Sam Johnston, who makes good that. Well, we've seen lots of celebrations for teams against Preston down the years. Thinking back to last season at Brentford, Crewe stayed up on the final day. Colchester stayed up last week. There was the scenes against Rotherham in the playoffs last year, but this is going to be Preston's day in the next couple of minutes, and the fans, I think, are going to enjoy it.
Yeah, I've been on the pitch for a crowd celebration. Coming off against Torquay, the fans are absolutely ecstatic. Come on, they're patting you on the back, trying to take the shirt off your back. It's been a hard 7 days. Supporters have been through everything, and listen, it's not the end of the season because we want to go to Wembley and do ourselves justice and win the game and go up a division. But the fans deserve this after last Sunday, the massive disappointment. But to get to this stage now, obviously, like I say, as players and coaching staff, they've picked themselves up.
Beckford trying to seal his hat-trick here, but Kilkenny and Beckford have just run into each other there, and they're both down struggling. As Chesterfield hit it upfield looking for Van Dooley, but it's through to Sam Johnston. But Preston won't want to lose any players through injury, although they've got the 2 weeks to prepare. Gallagher is perhaps the main doubt after his knock, but Jermaine Beckford is just down in the penalty area now as he is slow to get to his feet after that coming together. But well, I think he'll be all right.
It's game over and done with now. It's a matter of just the referee blowing his final whistle, but just to finish off again, the fans, it's a great day for them. It'll be a good trip down to Wembley. We'll go in numbers, no doubt. And like I say, it's what they deserve. They deserve to go up. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, but now we've given ourselves a second opportunity to get to that next division and go on and do really well.
It's going to be a big 2 weeks of build-up from a Preston point of view. The fans are all around the edge of the pitch, ready to stream on and celebrate. And the Chesterfield manager sending all his team and the coaching staff into the dressing room now. He knows there's only a formality of a couple of minutes left, and while the supporters dancing with delight around the edge of the pitch here at Deepdale, and there are going to be scenes of
safety announcement. All supporters, please go back over the hoardings. All supporters, please go back to the hoardings. The referee might not continue the game.
Johnston clears this one upfield. Beckford tries to control it, just bounces off him though, and comes out wide for Directwa, who plays
this is a ground safety announcement. Will all supporters please go back over the hoardings? The referee might not continue the game.
Instead, Chris Humphrey will run forward, and Preston are going in search of another here before the end, as it's touched out towards Garnet. He's sprinting after it, but it's a good challenge, and Sam Hurd got there to see it away, and Chesterfield has spared another painful blow. But there's only seconds remaining now as Preston prepare to celebrate after plenty of playoff heartache. It is going to be a joyous moment to come as Alan Brown has this on the far side. Upfield it goes, but it's going to be out for a throw-in. Simon Grayson and Preston tend to do things the hard way in the playoffs. It so far has been good times for them, but the next one will be the big one, and there will be a lot of celebration after this one, no doubt. Everybody, even the players and the substitutes down on the touchline, ready to celebrate and to join in this moment as Bandile heads it away. Falls to Aribi now for Chesterfield as he turns and takes a deflected shot forward, which comes off Clark and is going to be a corner for Chesterfield. But there goes the full-time whistle. Preston have done it. They will be in the League One playoff final after a fine display over 2 legs against Chesterfield this season. Joe Garnet is the one who is celebrating. Jermaine Beckford is the main hero though, with his 2 goals here today, and the fans flood onto the field
Upfield to celebrate with the players, the manager and the coaching staff. And these are scenes to savour for Simon Grayson and the players. For so long the playoffs have been tough to take for the Preston North End supporters, but today they are going to celebrate in style. 2 goals from Jermaine Beckford, a penalty from Joe Garnet means that they win 3-0 here today after winning 1-0 at Thursday.
And it is the Preston team who are celebrating with the fans here today, and there's some ugly scenes with Ian Adverts getting involved and some of the fans just trying to wind him up, and things just wanting to try and calm down as Adverts is ushered off the field. But on the whole, everybody celebrating in good voice here, and Preston looking forward to a game at Wembley 2 weeks today. And Andy Fensom, I think the vast majority of the fans celebrating here and enjoying the moment.
Yeah, it's fantastic for the supporters to get on the pitch, to try and congratulate your favourite player if you can get near them at this moment of time. All we really want to see is the Chesterfield players. They're going over to their supporters, fair play to them. Preston supporters, just let them go. Let them have, they've had their day, unfortunately for them. But our supporters, go and congratulate the Preston players. Go and enjoy your afternoon. Go and enjoy your day out at Wembley, and let's make sure we go up a division.
Andy, thanks very much for your help and time this afternoon, much appreciated. These scenes of celebrations are going to go on for quite a few more minutes yet, I think, but we'll be back on air for the final in a couple of weeks' time at Wembley for what will be a huge day for Preston North End, and still the players are struggling to make their way through the crowd of players to get into the dressing room to start the celebrations. Andy, thanks again, much appreciated. And well, it is going to be a happy time to celebrate for the next couple of days as Tom Clark is lifted above all the supporters and he's going to be carried in towards the dressing room.